Hello everyone, welcome to our channel, the Studyopia. Today's topic is digestive system. We will cover digestive system, alimentary canal, organs of digestive system, anatomical region of stomach, small intestine and large intestine, and some practical questions we will solve, and you people are going to give your answers in the comment box. So let's get started. Hello, welcome to our channel, the Studyopia. Today's topic is the digestive system, and here we will learn about the different parts of the alimentary canal and what are their functions. Okay, and what are the different categories or different parts of small intestine, large intestine, and stomach. That means overall whole detailed understanding of our digestive system, and the process of digestion we will do in our next video. So here only we will learn about the alimentary canal, the structure of our digestive system, and the different components of our digestive system. To understand this process completely, we have to know about the different structure and different organs of our digestive system. So let's get started. So before starting, you know that digestive system performs only a very important function, that is digestion. Now why do we need digestion thing, means why it is so much important? Because what happened, there is a cyclic reaction, rather, that means a food that is being eaten up by a animal or any organism, that has to be broken down. Okay, and when this food is being broken down, they are broken down into simpler compounds. So they are broken down into simpler simpler substances, and these simpler substances can be easily absorbed by the body to produce energy. So this is the ultimate goal of the digestion process. That means the food that we are taking, it has to be broken down into simpler substances to be absorbed by the body, which will eventually generate energy. So first of all, we know in the digestive system, the first organ or the first place where our food get masticated is the mouth. So the first organ or first place, you will say it is the mouth. Now in the mouth, where together with the teeth and the tongue, it helps the food to masticate the means the food particles. Okay, so after mastication of food, the food becomes really easy to swallow, and they all become grouped or combined, and we see it as a bolus. That means all the food particles are entangled together because of the help, we have a mucus secretion in our, or saliva secretion, rather we have a saliva secretion in our mouth, which helps the food to get bind. Okay, but to get means it helps in the binding of the food, and thus it helps to swallow. So now what happens, once you have a bolus in your mouth, so if this is the mouth portion, now you have taken the food and you are just swallowing it. Now once you swallow, what happens, this food particles moves into the the esophagus. Esophagus is also known as the food pipe. So this is the esophagus. Or food pipe. Okay, now the esophagus is a long tunnel. Now before entering this, we are talking about the alimentary canal. So all this area is known as alimentary canal. Okay, our digestive system contains two parts. One is the alimentary canal, another is the digestive glands. Now why it is known as alimentary canal? Because you can see this is a long tube running across the whole body. Okay, and means you can understand from the mouth it is starting, and from esophagus, stomach, small intestine, large intestine, and finally it ends in the anus. That means only a whole tube like structure, it is running throughout our body. So in this manner, it is very convenient to say it as a tube-like structure or canal. So its name is alimentary canal. Now in the alimentary canal, the first thing I have told you, it's the mouth, and the second object is the second place, or the second position is the esophagus. Now esophagus is the food pipe. Remember, there are two flaps. Like for example, if I make this if one is the esophagus, another is the windpipe, that means our food has to move to the through the esophagus, not into the windpipe, because windpipe is having a certain different function to play. So there is a flap like structure, okay, there is a muscle flap like structure which helps the food to move into the esophagus and prevents it from entering into the windpipe. So in this manner, this esophagus takes the bolus of the food by a peristaltic movement. What is the meaning of peristaltic movement? Peristaltic movement means there is a contraction and relaxation of the canal. That means that when the food is being taken, wherever the food is being placed, that portion actually gets relaxed, and the above portion is gets contracted. Okay, this portion is getting contracted. So what happens, there is a pressure always getting developed, and it helps to propel the food down the canal or down the tube. So that is known as peristaltic movement. What is it known as? This is known as peristaltic movement. Okay, this is known as peristaltic movement. I hope it is clear to you till now. Yes, then we are moving forward. Okay, now what happens in the next next step, the food is being moving, the bolus is being moving, and here it moves into the stomach. Now this portion is known as stomach. It is a bag-like structure. It is a muscular bag-like structure where the food enters from the esophagus to this bag-like structure, which is known as stomach. And stomach plays a very vital role. Like it consists of a very high acidic medium, which helps the food to get the bacteria gets killed over here, and it also helps the food to get churned. Okay, churned easily, and here the food converts into a chyme. Okay, that is a more or less a semi-solid portion, from a solid to semi-solid substances, and it over here it get mixed with certain enzymes also, which we will be discussing in the process of digestion. Okay, now this is the stomach, and the stomach is divided into 4 sections. Okay, so what are those 4 sections? The first section is the cardiac. Don't think about the cardiac muscle. The cardiac is also present in the, I'm not talking about the muscles, I'm talking about the position. So cardiac is is present in, I am just drawing with some different color. Cardiac is present where the opening of esophagus is there. Okay, where the esophagus opens into the stomach, that portion is known as cardiac. For example, this portion is known as cardiac. Okay, now the next portion is stomach is a little bit like this type of a shape. Sorry for the bad drawing. And here this is the cardiac portion where the esophagus opens into the stomach, and here is another layer is there, that is known as fundic. So here this portion is known as fundic, especially the top, this portion. So this is known as fundic. Okay, so what is our next portion? That is fundic. Third one is the body, which is the main center for the digestion process to be taking place, or in the stomach. In the stomach, that is the main central body. And next is the pyloric. Clear? So what I have said you, that's in the stomach. If I am here, it is getting a little bit clumsy. I am making it another fresh one. See this one. So this is the esophagus, and here is your okay, here is your stomach, something it look like this. Now this area, for example, I'm marking it with a red section. So if this area is there, this is known as cardiac. This area, okay, I'm marking it with the blue. Say for this area, it's known as fundic. Okay, here the central portion, it's known as the body, where the proper activity of the stomach plays. And this area is known as pyloric, where this region opens into the small intestine. Clear? So let's do a quick review or a quick summarize it all. Like where the esophagus open into the stomach, it is known as cardiac. Where the stomach organ opens into the small intestine, that region is known as a pyloric. The middle central area, which is the main area of the stomach, is known as the body. And above this area, there means beside the cardiac and above the body centered position, there is a fundic. Okay, this region is known as fundic. So I hope it is clear to you, this diagram. So there are 4 different portion or 4 different areas. So now let's move on to the small intestine. I'm drawing a very rough diagram to make you understand. So this is the stomach portion, you have already understood. Now let's move on to the parts of small intestine. Now the parts of small intestine starts with the C-type position. Okay, the C-type tube of the small intestine that is being attached to the stomach. Now this C area is known as duodenum. Duodenum. Now this portion is very important in the small intestine, because you will understand afterwards that means this position, the main activity of small intestine is dependent upon this position. Okay, this area, duodenum. You will find that there is the maximum amount of the enzymes, the enzyme that is coming from the bile and the pancreas, these all are getting connected with this duodenum. This duodenum means this all this enzymes opens into the duodenum. So this area has a very significant role in the digestion process. You will be knowing in our successive or consecutive videos, in our next videos. So please remember this name, duodenum. Now duodenum is the first area of the small intestine. So from here only the small intestine gets started. And the last area, this is the third one, and the middle one I will be saying. The third one, where there the small intestine ends and the large intestine begins, is known as ileum. And remember, this area is the mostly highly coiled region, and the middle portion is known as jejunum. Okay, so I hope this is clear, you have understood it. The C portion is the C-shaped like structure, the tube is known as duodenum. The final, the last one, where the small intestine ends and the large intestine begins, is known as ileum. And the middle portion, which is a convoluted, more or less much convoluted, is known as jejunum. Now let's move on to the large intestine. So you have understood duodenum, jejunum and ileum, where is their position. Now the next one is the large intestine. Now I have ended over here. So here is the place. See, you can see this. Here is the place where the food has been, have gone through successive digestion processes. That is protein, carbohydrate, fats. Every digestion has been completed in the small intestine. More or less it has been completed in the small intestine. Now what will happen, only little bit of water will be absorbed in this large intestine, and some kind of drugs or medicines if you are taking, that will be absorbed in the large intestine, and mostly the undigested food will be passed out of your body. So the large intestine starts with, again the large intestine is also divided into several parts. Okay, so what are those? Let's see. So the large intestine So this is the large intestine. Large intestine, I'm writing in abbreviated form. So the large intestine, what happens, it is divided into again 4 parts. So the first part is the first of all I will say it is the 3 parts, okay, then I will be saying you the sub parts of it. The first one is cecum, cecum or cecum, wherever whatever you say, cecum, colon and rectum. Okay, now what is cecum, colon and rectum? So cecum is the position where the small intestine ends, and there is a it's a blind sac like structure which opens into the large intestine. So this cecum is this area, and here there you can see a small black type of mark I have made. It is not just by accidentally marker thing, accidentally I have not done it. It is the this is the appendix. Okay, so this appendix is a vestigial organ which is still now it has not been found with any specific functions to be playing for the digestion, but it the research is going on that whether this appendix is a vestigial organ, that is a useless organ, or it do has some type of functions. So this is where this appendix lies in the cecum region. Now it's a blind sac-like structure which contains some microbes, symbiotic microbes. So what I said, this cecum has a function. It carries some symbiotic microorganism. Okay, so cecum contains some symbiotic microorganism, obviously, which helps in the digestion process, and it also attains nutrition from our host body. Okay, now this cecum then followed by cecum is the colon. Okay, followed by cecum is the colon region. Colon is divided into 4 sections. Okay, colon is divided into 4 sections. How many sections? 4 sections. So this 4 section is the, we will be saying it in the wider view. So I have taken out the large intestine and it's a wider view. See over here. So this area is the cecum portion. I have already told you this area is the cecum portion, which is the blind sac-like structure, and here only the the opening of the small intestine is attached in the cecum portion. This is the vermicular appendix, and this colon, this entire thing is the colon up till this. Okay, so see, this colon is divided into 4 parts. This one is the ascending colon. So according to the direction of the arrow, you will be naming it. This is the ascending colon. This is the transverse colon as it is moving horizontally. This is the descending colon. Okay, because it is moving down now. The food will pass from here. Okay, and it will pass through a sigmoid colon, means a sigmoid curve you have already known. So see here, it's a sigmoid type of this sigmoid curve we say like this. Okay, this is the sigmoid curve. So in this manner it is known as the sigmoid colon. Okay, this is the sigmoid colon. Descending colon, transverse colon, ascending colon. Okay, so ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, sigmoid colon, and the rectum. Now this area is known as the rectum portion. Okay, now this is rectum. Now rectum ends in anus, which is the area through which the undigested product is expelled out from your body. So I hope you have understood it. So let's give a very quick summarization or a quick understanding again. Quick review. See, over here from the mouth the food is being taken by the buccal cavity, and in the buccal cavity we have teeth and tongue to masticate the food. The bolus then moves into the esophagus. The esophagus is the food pipe, is also known as the food pipe, and it opens into the stomach. Now another thing I have forgotten, that in the stomach there is a muscle, elastic muscle is there, which is known as sphincter muscle. Okay, it is present, one over here, another is over here. Now these two things helps in the in the easy going of the food, and so that the once you are taking the food, it doesn't move in a bulk amount one at a time. Okay, slowly the means the food should pass into the stomach, and similarly in the small intestine and large intestine. So that's why there are some elastic muscles. The muscle is just like this in the contracted mode. When the food comes to it, and it's a pressure being exerted by the peristaltic movement, the elastic muscle loosen up, and slowly the food actually evacuates from the that tube like structure. So this is known as sphincter muscle. Okay, so it's sphincter muscle. So here it is, the name is gastroesophageal sphincter, and here, as I have told you, this is the region of pyloric. The region is known as pyloric. This is known as the pyloric sphincter. So what is this? This is gastroesophageal, and this is pyloric sphincter. Okay, so this is gastroesophageal sphincter, this is pyloric sphincter. Now the food will move to the small intestine. The small intestine, their proper digestion of all the biomolecules will be taking place with the help of a different type of enzyme that is being secreted by our digestive glands. And then the small intestine will open into the cecum region of the large intestine, where it will be acted upon by the symbiotic microorganism, and eventually it will be broken down further, and the food will be absorbed by the body in a more proper, easy manner. And then the colon is there through the large intestine. In the large intestine, colon is there, ascending colon, transverse colon, descending colon, and finally the sigmoid colon, and that will lead to the region of the rectum, where anus will expel out the undigested food, and hence the digestion will be, the process of digestion will be over. Okay, and this process, all the in the digestion process we have several steps. So what happens, this digested food gets absorbed by the body, and this absorbed food is also assimilated by the body. That means the absorbed food will make energy out of it, and this energy will be utilized in several activities of our life. Okay, I hope the video was helpful to you, and I have made the whole concept of digestive system clear, and the digestion process we will be following in our next videos. So thank you, all the best, bye bye. Okay, here are some practice questions for you to answer in the comment box, so you can check it out. There are 5 questions which you have to answer.